and thanks first that you have accepted my invitation for having personal talk live on radio. Yeah, and thanks that you spend more time after your working time also.
Guys, of course.
So one of my regular first question is always that how the things happens for you personally when you start your career. How everything did happen?
You mean okay? So
Can you remember?
yeah, it's not not a simple question actually because it wasn't really intentional, and also I just kind of drifted into it. But if I have to say a year, it would be around I think 95, because at that time Toy Story came out, and that really fired my enthusiasm for the very first time. I always loved and still do animated movies. Even if the storyline is not that good, I usually watch them all.
Yeah.
And I remember that I couldn't believe that it was all done in 3D. So I think I was around 10 years old at that time, and started to do some research, quote unquote, at 10 years old. So I wanted to figure out how to do this and that, and on the internet mostly, and somehow I ended up with 3D Studio Max.
Yeah.
And
so you mean you started pretty early, right?
yeah, but it was just the interest at that year. So every time I found something interesting, movie or music video, I just got all excited and wanted to figure out how it's done.
Yeah.
So I got myself into a few aspects of 3D, but all of them are stuck on a very basic level. Because, for example, I remember when the Mummy came out, the old movie.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do this sandstorm, this whirl of sand in the air. So I just started to watch tutorials on particle systems, and then after the Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, I did an animation with this sort of old traditional Chinese boat spaceship, but it was really sucky. You know, it was just a couple of boxes and cylinders floating in the air, but it made me happy.
So this is what you're sharing with us is your first animation, right?
Yeah.
But actually you become famous with I think one image called Capsule Home, or not?
Maybe.
Yeah. Because this is the first image I think which reach us as people outside. I mean, in the CJ society, and after that, I'm just browsing the reach field. I mean, the jumping children, but all these things appears a bit later, I guess.
Yeah, but because it was really just the beginning. I went far back, so maybe too far, but these were just basically the first steps, and then architecture came into the mixture, because I went to the university, architectural university, and that was the place where I started to do art quiz. Basically.
So, have you actually worked as an architect after the graduation?
I did not.
I see. So you jumped immediately to the CJ branch?
Yeah. Because when I graduated from the university, I got to choose. I went through a couple of interviews in both professions, in 3D and architecture, and I was lucky enough to get one offer for each. And I think I needed like a day to think it through. But I decided to go straight into 3D. And I don't regret it.
Yeah, actually, what we know from outside, I mean outside the public, outside mere the things and the stories according to the company where now, as we know that the Mir itself is selecting all the best artists on the market, so there is no doubt in this. And yeah, the skills you have and you own, we can personally and we can study all the things style wise, and but the real question is how you get inspiration by yourself. For example, how did you find the right shot for some images, whatever it is?
Okay, I think it's almost like you always have to keep the subject in front of you, I think. So
But
you have to come up with something, and it's really important that the image should tell the same story what you see.
but do you need every time to make a series of tests before you decide that okay, that's the right shot?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I made like dozens of sketches. I think sketching is most important part, and this is what I learned here. Basically.
Just by hand. This is the sketches you mean, just by hand.
It can be a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I usually do it in Photoshop, so digitally. And yeah, it can be just a few lines, but usually that's not enough.
I see.
Because with lines you can set up the composition, but also you have to see or feel the lights and shadows, and also the colors are really important. So you have to put all of these ingredients together to see that if the sketch will work or not.
The reason why I'm asking this each of the artists I'm getting interview from is that I like to set up really thick border between the artistical approach and technical approach, because the most people think when they start career, for example, that they need to push more in the technical side and they don't care so much on the artistical point of view, the light and so on.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is more important? Do you think that technical skills are not so important than the artistical view?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the artistic view is much more important, and the technical stuff is just the tool. It's like just a pencil.
Yeah.
And especially nowadays with these render engines and material libraries, you don't really have to know that much in 3D. We just need to be good, or need to have a good eye for the image.
Yeah, true. All right. So when did you join the company then?
I think it was almost 3 years ago. Yeah, it's a bit less.
Last but not least. So, okay, and there is another more technical question probably. What about your favorite tools? Can you remain some of your favorite tools like scripts or even render engine, whatever it is?
Yeah. I don't use that many tools actually. I just work in 3D Studio Max and use V-Ray, and probably the most used software is Forest Pack in 3D Studio Max. It saved me like millions of hours of work.
Yeah.
And I use it almost every day. So I would say that probably the Forest Pack. And also, of course, the small script, the Relink bitmap.
Yeah.
It's essential.
It's essential, true.
Yeah, but other than that, it's just that.
Okay, what will be your recommendation to someone who is starting now in the CGI industry?
Huh. Okay. Uh, it's a complex question.
It is, and it's not
Uh,
easy.
yeah. But from my experience, if you want to be better and learn a lot faster, the probably the only thing you need to do is find motivation for every day and have
Uh-huh.
constantly something that drives you. Or at least this is what I'm trying nowadays, or in the couple last years. But uh,
So can
it
we say that your personal motivation can be better images every day?
uh, my inspiration is usually not 3D related.
This is
In the
interesting.
and I think it's really important to, if you watch just the things in one drawer, you won't see the whole world outside. You have to.
Yeah.
I think it sounds lame, but you have to sort of think outside of the box and and look out for inspirations outside of your room, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, for me, to name a few, I think it's in the last couple of months, it's concept artists' works, and of course the the usual movies and music videos or just the music itself, and of course nature. Here in Norway, you don't need to go that far to see epic landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of funny because I remember when I looked at mirror images when I was young, a couple of years ago, with all the fog and cool lights. I thought that's probably just these are just made up scenarios for artistic uh, expressions, for presenting an idea. But when I moved here, it hit me in the face that these are actually existing real life effects.
Uh-huh.
It happens on a daily basis here in Bergen. So yeah, you should go for a hiking, or you should visit Norway for inspiration. Really.
This is really nice what you share with us. And after our last talks with some of the other great artists, the funny things that they say similar things. Like you need to find inspiration outside the
Yeah.
3D reality and outside your job routine, let's say.
Yeah.
And watching movies or manga and photography and collecting just simple inspiration. And what you tell us is just to get inspiration by the nature because Norway has great nature.
Or whatever your thing is.
Or
It's just,
where,
yeah. I mean, I'm not like a huge hiker or whatever. I'm just
yeah.
every time I go outside, I see these hills and mountains around, and
Mm-hmm.
I just yeah, it takes my breath away that it's actually here, and it looks really really cool and epic.
I remember one question which was shot to someone of your crew there that why there is not so much sunlight in the images, and the answer was probably because in Norway there is not so much sunlight or something like this.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, Bergen is really cloudy,
Yeah.
so yeah.
It's a big discussion according comparison V-Ray and Corona, and the artist who is using now Corona is saying something interesting. They made big shifts from V-Ray to Corona, and we are just investigating this process. And every time I stuck to the same decision that is a matter of personal decision because the both engines they are pretty powerful. But the interesting part is that someone who made this switch from V-Ray to Corona said this Corona is more artistical, focused. Um, you don't need to spend so much time on settings and so on. Do you have some other favorite tools except Forest Pack and V-Ray?
I don't really actually,
Yeah.
because for me, it's kind of irrelevant.
Mm.
The only thing that it's important is just use the tools you have. I think, because as I said before, it's like almost any 3D software or V-Ray engine is good enough to be a potential perfect base for your image. So it's just up to you.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really important. Whatever fits your workflow, you should
So,
use that. That's it.
what do you think about the future tendency according to VR technology? And
Yeah, it's VR is really interesting. It's maybe it's too fresh, but I don't think it's I think it has its place,
yeah,
but also thinks that it won't take over the animation or images. It's just a whole different genre,
yeah,
and you have to use it, and you have to accept it. But I don't feel that images are in danger or animations. Just
so
new channel.
did I understand perfect? I mean, did I understand right what you said that you prefer to stay on the images, still images animation, comparing to VR? Have you tried?
Mm. I tried VR, but I didn't do images in VR.
I see.
But I'm not saying that I won't, or I will never do
Yeah,
a shift. But for me, for now, it's just I love images the most, even
yeah,
over animations. But of course, I'm trying to do smaller animations and just to try different grounds. And I'm pretty sure that eventually I will do 360 image as well, because I just have to try it, and we'll see.
yeah.
I'm open.
So, as a last question and as a positive wish to the people who are listening, what you would give it as last recommendation to the people who are struggling, who sometimes suffering with lack of inspiration? Just last words for our
Okay.
conversation.
Um I'm pretty sure that everyone at least likes something. So whatever it is at that moment, you just need to take a photo of it and put it on your phone in a folder. And when you feel that you lack of inspiration, just open this folder and browse through it. And I'm pretty sure that it will fire up, and you'll feel like that you have to do something. I think it really works. And after you get the motivation, everything else is just easy and fun. Even learning like technical stuff. If you have a good aim in your eyes or in front of you, then it's easy.
So this is really nice sentence in your last words for today's conversation. Pretty big thanks for the time you spent in us. I wish you all the best, luck, and be healthy. Thanks again. Thanks a lot
Yeah.
for our conversation. And
Thanks for having me.
I think it was great, really.